Welcome to your Thriving Heart for Thriving Life Grit Tips. Do you know someone whom you care who has lost a spouse, who is a widow? And if you do, or if you are a widow, my heart goes out to you because I can only imagine how you feel at times. Many people who are many widows who come to me says it feels as if somebody just ripped half of my body away from me. And that's an unfathomable pains that words can never be enough to describe, and my heart really goes out to you. And today is the International Widows Day, and honoring the pain that you had to go through. And this year, 2025 theme for the International Widows Days is empowerment. Now, empowerment is very important to empowerment going from loss to leader, and empowerment is very important. But for us who are grieving, sometimes the words empowerment can feel way too much. And if you are feeling that way, when if you are feeling like empowerment, I can barely get out of bed. What are you talking about empowerment? Going from loss to leading? I don't even know while I'm still alive. Please know that your feelings are valid. Every single of your feelings are valid, and you are valid. It does not make you weak if you feel that anything that has to do with empowerment, or anything that has to do about being positive feels just way too much at this moment. That does not make you weak. There is nothing wrong with you. Your heart has been broken into pieces, and nobody, doesn't matter if the person is the best grief therapist or coach, or somebody who has been through similar journey with you, can know exactly how you feel. If you are at this moment in great pain, my heart goes out to you, and I'm going to share a couple tips that might or might not, but might just help. And the first is to allow you to be you. Sometimes when there is a loss, we have people come and telling us, you should do this and you should do that. You shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. And they all mean well, but there are so many misunderstanding about griefs that unless the person is a qualified grief specialist, certified grief specialist, they might just actually saying what a commonly believed things about grief, but does not fit you. And as grief specialists, we know that we never tell anybody you should something because everybody different. And so you want to do what feels best to you and not what your sister or sister-in-law say. And also to allow you to be used if it is something. Sometimes when there is such a significant loss, there are so many things that you need to take care, and so many people you need to worry about, the significant, the family, the children, the grandchildren, and all these paperwork, and on and on and on and on. And it's absolutely can be very overwhelming and ridiculous, and many times we try to push ourselves. And if you are in that state, just know to take care of you as well, to remember to take care of you as well, and to speak up if it is become too much and say, you know what, I cannot do more than that today. I have another one meeting in the morning. I have another meeting. I'm not even taking a phone call or a text today. No more. And it is okay. This is not because you are weak, but this is because you're human and because you love. And right now, that love hurts. And to honor your loved one memory, to honor what it is that your loved one want, but also honoring yourself. Many times people come to me, and widows and widower come to me and say, you know, I know that my husband want me to do ABC, and he says he want me to do this after he passed away, and I'm just not ready. I just can't make myself do this. Well, if we think about this, the reason the person want you to say be to move forward, to go into a different relationship, to stay in the same house, or to go to sell the house, or whatever it is, at the bottom line, what do they want you to do this? They want you to do this because they think this will make you happy. But what if at this moment that's not what make you happy? That at this moment what make you feel okay, maybe not happy, but what makes it more bearable, that what make it feel semi okay, is to not be in a relationship and not even think about it ever again, to stay in the house or to sell the house, whichever that is semi more bearable to you. At the bottom line, I say, yes, and think about this. Why did they tell you this? Because they want you as much as possible to be happy again. And so, although while honoring what your loved one, your spouse, your husband's want, also honor you, knowing that what they want for you at the end is for you to feel okay, for you to be happy again. And sometimes this is another pressure, so to say, for some people who says, I just can't be happy again. I feel it. I feel like a failure because I cannot be happy again. Now, a lot of time the reasons we cannot feel happy again at all, if you cannot feel happy again at all, it's oftentimes because there is still a lot of pain from the grief and you have not released the pain. And now there's a big difference between releasing the pain and recovering from the pain and the grief versus getting over versus move on. Uh, well, this is not something you will ever get over. You don't get over something so impactful and change you forever. This is not something you just move on. There's no moving on after your husband, your spouse die. There is no such a thing. But it is possible. It is possible to move through the grief and move forward when you are ready. It is possible to release the pain while loving and honoring the person even more and allowing yourself, if you choose to be happy from time to time. So if you have absolutely cannot feel happy with anything, then it might be there is a part of you that still need to release a little more of the pain, and to allow proper support, to allow proper professional support if that is something that you find yourself unable to do on your own, which is something so major, like losing our having our loved one, our spouse die, is something that is very impactful, and to allow support. But if you feel happy with different things, you are able to enjoy different aspect of your life, but you say, I just cannot be happy being around people who I'm supposed to be interested. I cannot be happy to even remotely with the concept of being in a relationship. It's okay. You're not betraying. You're not betraying your loved one. It is you. You want to allow you to be you at a time frame that works for you. We don't want to give grief time, but you want to give you yourself time. And also, of course, you want to allow support. You want to allow support to connect with people who's able to relate as well as to understand you, and dare to allow you to be you. And no, nobody will know how you feel exactly because nobody would, doesn't matter who the person is, even if the person has similar journey with you. But you still want people who are able to relate, who are able to understand you, and who's your advocate, so to say. And also to understand, back to the theme of 2025 International Widows Day, being empowered. The first step of being empowered, sometimes we think about empower, we need to do this, do this, do this, do this. The first step of being empowered is to actually be able to have, to be less weighed down, to be less weighed down by the pain, to be able to release pain, to release the pain that is so much sometimes that is paralyzing, is what many people say. And so that is being empowered. It is being empowered to be able to get up that day and say, I don't feel like to, and it feels like my leg, has suddenly turned like 1 ton of brick, but I'm choosing to just take a tiny step. Sometimes we think about empowerment and all these things as something big, but depend on where you are. Depend on where you are. Allowing yourself to be empowered is perhaps allowing yourself to get up that day, and perhaps allowing yourself to say, I've been in such long time of pain that, okay, perhaps we just see if we can love, if you can love even more and honor the person even more, or at least just as much, and being able to share and celebrate, but with less pain. That is the core of empowerment before a lot of other things. And that is something that is very important. And so if this is the loss that you have to experience, or your loved one experience, just know that my heart goes out to you. And also to remember that grief is not linear. Many people come to me, many widows come to me, not within the first year, but 2, 3, 4, even 10 years later, and say, I did fine for the first year. I did fine for the first 2 years sometimes. And then at some point, it feels like something just bring the grief back, and it feels like the loss was yesterday. And there are multiple different reasons for that. Sometimes the first year or two, there's so many things for you to take care and worry about. You don't have time to grieve. You didn't have a chance to grieve. And sometimes also depend on the situations. The first year, the first 6 months, particularly the first 2 years, there are a lot of people around us who still take connected to us and checking in on us and so forth. And then slowly but surely these people falter away. And then here you are, a year and 3 months, or 3 years and 3 months later, you come back home and you come back and say, okay, all those people have moved forward. And here I am sitting in this house alone. And it feels like it was yesterday. And now you feel the grief. And if that's happened, it is not because, and there is something wrong with you. It is not because you're going backward, but it is because there is still part of the pain. There is still the pain that perhaps you can release just a little bit more, that you have not yet done so. But it is possible if you choose to be able to do that. My heart goes out to you if you have to have this horrific experience of being a widow. If you have any questions, feel welcome to share it in the comment, or if you choose to, feel welcome to email it to me directly, as written on here, BirgitteTan for grief@gmail.com, as well as you can connect with me through my website, joyfulrichesbeyondgrief.com. If you find any part of these videos beneficial, please like and subscribe so you can continue receiving updates and tips, as well as feel welcome to share this video with anyone who might benefit. And this is Dr. BirgitteTan with Joyful Riches Beyond Grief, and I look forward to see you in the next video.